Yeah, like I was saying, I was having a session with a therapist, and she told me I was just like my mom. So I stopped seeing her. I didn't want to accept, because I wasn't telling her good things about my mom, nothing good about my mom, and she told me that I was just like her. So, but I am just like her, but the opposite from my mom. She'll try to find the worst things about you and throw it in your face. And I'm the opposite. I'll try to find the best things about you to throw it in your face and uplift you. She tried to bring you down. That's how she feel powerful. That's how she feel above you, by bringing the worst out in you. And that's how I am like her. But I want to reach out to that therapist and apologize to her. But anyway, I don't mind being like my mom, but she got lost. I think maybe I have no idea. I think I would like to blame who my mom is on my stepfather, but you know, I can't do that. Just like I have to make choices in my life, so did she, because he was 35. She was 20 years old when she met him, and he was 35. She was a 20-year-old woman, you know, with 4 children. So that was a golden opportunity for an older man who had a grocery store to meet this young woman with 4 children. And, you know, like my stepsister, and it came online and, you know, came on social media saying that her father came to Birmingham, Alabama and got me and my siblings out of the projects. That's not true. She wasn't there. I was there. We were living with my great-grandfather, and my mom came to my great-grandfather's house and his wife's house and got me and my siblings, got us on the bus and brought us to New York. As soon as we got here, she took us to the corner of Madison, to the man's store. So he got this woman with these 4 kids and put all of us on public assistance. And so, you know, a woman with 4 kids on public assistance, you know what you think what he did with that money, those food stamps. He filled his grocery store up. He used that young woman and her 4 kids and gave her 2 more children and put them all on public assistance. The next thing you know, he had a chain of grocery stores. But and I remember I used to be crying because the neighborhood, they used to say that my stepfather was a pimp and my mother was a prostitute. But it was true, but it wasn't in the way that they said it. My stepfather was pimping my mother and her children, and my mother was, you know, in on it. She was working for him, and she was a young girl. She was a young lady, not a girl, a young lady. So I don't know, a 20-year-old woman with 4 kids, under the influence of a 35-year-old man. I don't know. But I noticed when we became teenagers and we were living in the neighborhood, I guess they were afraid the neighbors was gonna report them for fraud, having them grocery stores. Next thing you know, me and my siblings felt uncomfortable, and we had to move out of the house because my stepfather no longer wanted we was no longer any use to him. And if his daughters see this content and she have something to say, if he would have got government assistance for her, she would have been with him too. She would have been with him too. And not only that, a lot of people in the 80s and in the 70s was pimping their children, had their children out selling drugs, was having gangs of children. The more children you had, the more you got from the government. Well, a lot of people was doing that. So, that was the only way they knew how to do, And then, not only then, I was on Ancestry tree, and my great-grandfather, I was looking it up, his mom was 45 and his father was 35, and it was 15 of them. So they had to have all those children to get ahead, to make it. And a lot of people was just doing that. I guess that's what they knew how to do. But my stepfather, he was not nice to us. He was getting government assistance for us and putting food in his store. He wasn't treating us right, but he was treating the children that he had from my mom. He was treating them better. So all in reality, he was probably a better person than she was. But after he passed away, that's a whole nother story. I'm gonna put that in my biography. This story is really my life story. Being raised by narcissistic parents is off the chain, And like I was saying, his daughter, I told, I don't want to talk about, but if she come up, I'm going to talk about, even if she don't come up, talk about how when she came to New York, and one time, how she came to New York and taught us how to take things out of stores and not pay money for it. One time she taught me how to boost. My mom gave us, she did not want to spend her money on things. She did, well, anyway, my mom gave us $10, and we went to the store. I used to always go to Broadway to buy things. So she taught me how to take 2-3 pair of pants in the dressing room and then put it on another pair of pants, put on over the pants that I was going to take. And so one time I was in the store and I did that, and when I was putting my pants down, I didn't get a chance to keep my money because a woman stole the money out of my pants when I put it down. So I said right then and there, I knew that was karma. So if I would have paid for the pants, the woman wouldn't have took the money out of my pocket when I put the pants on the floor. So then I said, well, stealing wasn't for me. And then every time she used to come to New York, she was real good. She used to like steal my things. And then she would think that, I didn't want her to come to my home because I thought she wanted my man, but I didn't have a man. I just didn't. She was so good at taking things, I just couldn't trust her in my home. So when she came, I would avoid her because I did not trust her. And I did not know if she was still living that same lifestyle. So I would always avoid her and not, when she came to New York. But I don't hate her, but don't try to tell my story. And like I said, if you don't want to be in my story, stay out of my story. Okay, I'm going to end this content.